Welcome to the Dental 18 podcast. We're your hosts, Kiera
and Dr. Mark Costas.
Mark and I had this crazy idea that maybe we could combine a dentist and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. And Dental 18 podcast was created.
I'm a practicing dentist, a multiple practice owner, a dental performance coach, and the founder of the Dental Success Institute.
I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, current practice owner, and international dental consultant. Mark and I don't just understand you, we are you.
Our goal is to positively impact the world of dentistry by sharing our lessons learned from the road in hundreds of dental offices.
Two perspectives, one mission, to help dental professionals reach their full potential. Welcome to the Dental 18 podcast. Hello, Dental 18 listeners. This is Kiera Dent, and I am beyond excited because I have one of my favorite human beings in this whole world. Her name is Paige Benjamin. She is our we have actually a hygiene consulting company, and Paige is our lead hygiene consultant. And I have just been dying to get her on this podcast because she is not only one of my best friends, but she's also a phenomenal hygienist. She's been a dental assistant, ortho assistant, office manager, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, you name it. This girl has done it all, and she kicks trash when it comes to doing hygiene. So Paige, how are you tonight?
I'm so good. Thank you for the introduction. That was wonderful.
Of course. Anytime. I'll butter you up because I believe it with my whole heart. So I am just excited. You have this passion for hygiene. You and I have been working together, for how long now? A year?
It's been about a year, yeah.
Wow. And we just met. I had one of my friends put a post on Facebook saying I was looking for hygienists, and Paige, you came to play, and I feel we've grown a lot. We've written our massive hygiene curriculum that's on the Dental 18 website now. So lots for the beginning hygienist to the very experienced hygienist. You've helped write a really fantastic curriculum, and now we're doing in-office consulting, and bada bing, bada boom, here we are.
Yeah, we've come a long way. I remember when I saw that post on that platform, I thought, oh, don't respond, don't do it. And I just kept having this feeling, just respond, see what it's about. And I finally did. And I called you. And from then on, it was just golden. So it's been a great year. We've come a long way.
We have. And it's been fun to watch you. You've grown in leadership. You've grown as a person, and you've grown me. I still haven't tried it yet, but you even changed my life. And you told me one of the best meals that you've ever made in your whole life. Can I share? Can I tell what?
Yeah.
What you
Yeah,
made?
Of course.
It's a top ramen with what's the magic sauce that you put on top of this?
It's the pre-sliced cheese, that cheap cheese.
Because it makes it creamy.
Yeah.
I still have yet to try it.
I want you to try that soon. I want you to try it.
Okay, I'm committing.
Tonight.
I can't do it tonight, but I'm going to do it as soon as I get home. I will totally
It's going to change your life.
It's going to change my life. So everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Paige Benjamin right here, teaching you life hacks of what to have for dinner. There it is, top ramen with the fake cheese.
It's easy and it tastes good.
I love it. So Paige, we've been dying to talk hygiene, and we're going to be on the podcast a lot because hygiene is a topic that I don't feel I can speak 100% to because I've never been a hygienist. I feel like I understand the concepts and the principles, but reality is I have never done it. And you have. You do it every day. So let's talk about one of your favorite topics. I'll let you introduce it, and let's just dive right into it.
Yeah. So one of my favorite topics is about time management as a hygienist. I'm working clinical right now. I've temped in a variety of offices, and like I said, I've been in every role of the dental office, so I've been around this a lot. And the most common thing that I hear when anybody wants to implement a new system or whatever it may be, the hygienist pushback is, I'm already fighting the clock. I'm not going to have time to do that one extra thing. I'm just not. And so they don't do it. And in office, that's the biggest pushback. And I'm not going to lie, I've been there. I'm a hygienist, and I have been in that spot where somebody has told me, what if we do this? And my first reaction is, I'm not going to have enough time for that. I'm already fighting the clock. I have 60 minutes. It's not going to get done. Mm-hmm. But you have to train your brain. So when you have that thought of, it's not going to get done, I don't have enough time, then you need to say, but what if there is enough time? What if I can do that one extra thing? And it just opens the door to so many opportunities, that what if. and it trains your brain to think that way and get whatever it is done.
I love that so much because you're right. We create our own reality. So by saying there's no way I can't do this time, you're watching it as time is this slipping away piece that you never have enough time. You can't ever catch up. And Paige, I think one of the main reasons I was super intrigued to hire you was because you've done every single thing. So you're not just the hygienist that only does hygiene. You also, in addition to that, you're doing sterilization and you're making phone calls because you know what it's like to be in those positions. So let's talk about, in a 60-minute time frame, what additional things beyond just the normal are you able to do most days consistently, or what things have pushed you out of your realm that you've actually been able to add in without compromising care? Because that's usually the pushback of, well, Kiera, I could add that, but it'll compromise care. Or Kiera,
exactly,
there's no way I could actually do that FMP. You don't know what it's like to do the FMP. There's no way I can do this. So, but I love the change your mind. Think, what if I could do it? What would that be? And what do you do specifically, Paige? Give me some specifics because I'm super intrigued about hygiene.
Yeah. So what I had to do and what helped me was you have to have a starting point. You have to time yourself on each section of the appointment. Time yourself on your health history. Time yourself on your x-rays, your probing, polishing, sealants, fluoride. How long does it take you to impression for a night guard or a bleaching tray? Scheduling their recall appointment. All of these things are part of the appointment, but you have to have a starting point and know, how long is it actually taking me to probe? How long is it taking me to polish? If you don't have a starting point, you're not going to grow. You're not going to have a goal. So
well, because you don't even know what your baseline is. You have no clue how long it takes. So in your mind, it probably takes a lot longer than in actuality it really does.
Exactly. You have to analyze your current situation and then go from there. Set some realistic goals. And it might just be, it's taking me 15 minutes to take 4 bite wings. Okay, step back and say, what took me so long? Well, did I have my sensor out and ready? No, I had to go fetch it from another operatory. Did I have to take retakes? Yes, I took 3 retakes. Okay, those things right there are taking up time, and you can make that more efficient without compromising the final product. You can take 4 bite wings in, 1 minute and not compromise the integrity of them. You just have to practice, and you have to know what's taking the longest part and how to change that.
I love that because I was in an office it was probably a couple months ago, and there was a hygienist, and she said, Kiera, I literally don't have time. And I stood outside of her room and I watched her take x-rays, and just a simple thing, I was watching how every single thing, she was taking an FMX and she took the RIN out of the mouth every single time, fully, completely out of the mouth. And she would readjust and she'd move it around. And I said, hey, if you would just slide the bite wings a little bit forward, slide the RIN just a little bit forward instead of taking it out, repositioning. She was actually able to shave off, I want to say, about 7 minutes per FMX just by redoing the x-rays and not taking them all the way out of the mouth and taking as long to get them back and repositioned. That was 7 minutes of time she was able to shave off of her appointments, which is insane, just by something so simple like that. But she wouldn't have never known had she not timed herself, tried something different, because doing it the same way just keeps getting the same results. So
exactly. And you never know that something that simple and that doesn't take very long, you don't think it's taking very long, but when you do it 10, 15 times, it adds up. That time adds up significantly, but you don't realize it because you think, oh, it's only 3 seconds here and 3 seconds there, but it makes a big difference.
It definitely does. So what are some of the easiest things that you have found that you can shave off time without compromising care to make those 60 minutes last longer? Because it's crazy. I see some hygienists who are consistently behind schedule. I see others that are consistently done in 20 minutes, which I think is a little crazy. I think that's on the other extreme. But what areas have you seen that really work well for hygienists when they are racing the clock, and areas that they could start with if they want a starting point?
Yeah. So once you establish your starting point, the biggest thing is going to be just practicing, repetition, probing. Grab an assistant, grab a front office, grab someone. There has got to be someone in the office at some point during that 60 minutes that can come in and probe for you in less than 2 minutes. You do the whole mouth in less than 2 minutes. You just need an extra set of hands. If you don't, some people will reach over to their computer and some people will write on a paper. something that I have found very helpful with that is if you have a wireless keyboard, in my office we do, and I put that right on my tray, right over the patient's chest. And so I don't have to keep turning around and charting my probe depths. It's just right there, right in front of me, above the patient's chest, totally accessible, within an arm's reach away. And that has helped significantly.
And you can bury those keyboards so they stay
exactly
clean, and you can just work on that right there with dirty gloves on. Because I watched an office the other day where they would deglove every time they type on the computer, and I thought, no, you can barrier that so you don't have to deglove. And writing it down, that transitioning of writing it down and then entering it in the computer, that's extra time right there that's wasted if you could just directly enter it into the computer one time.
Exactly. Another thing, sealants, adult sealants on children, you just have to practice. And each time you do it, just get a little bit quicker. Repetition is key for hygiene. You just have to do these things over and over and over. So it's just second nature, and you don't have to think about it. And the more you practice, the quicker you'll get.
And one thing I think that's fun on this is once you get your baseline, then you can say, okay, I want to try my FMX takes me 15 minutes. This is what I used to do at the dental college with the students. They start out taking their FMXs in 30 to 45 to 60 minutes, one FMX when they were learning, when I taught at the dental college with dentists. And they had to get it down with less than 30 minutes or 15 minutes in order to pass their test. And so I always ask people, how were they able to do it? And I think it's because they knew that there was a requirement on them. And so they were able to find out ways to make it faster, to be more efficient, because they had to practice over and over and over again and learn little tips and tricks. So I think when you're looking at it, you get your baseline, shrink it up a little. Say, okay, I want to try and get my FMX done in 10 minutes, and then I want to get it done in 9 minutes, and then I want to get it done in 8 minutes. And you time yourself. And a lot of times I even said with FMXs with the doctors, I said, don't retake any x-rays until at the end, because you might catch contacts or apices in another film and not have to do as many retakes if you just move forward in order without retaking them right away. And so just little things like that, like pushing yourself, like you were saying, getting that baseline, but then playing a game with yourself almost and watching yourself, timing yourself to see what you can do. And Paige, do you do that when you're a hygienist? Is that how you get faster with the repetition, or do you have any other ideas?
Yeah. The biggest thing is, like I said, starting with a baseline, knowing where you're at, and then it's like a little race. I've got to get 1 minute quicker today. This week, I'm going to get 1 minute quicker on this specific thing, and just make it a goal to get 1 minute quicker until you've reached that goal that you want to be at.
I love that. And I also think when you know the things that you're going to have, so knowing the x-rays that you need to take on the patient instead of looking through their chart. So we love to do morning huddle preps, because then you prep your entire day beforehand. So instead of having to check all the charts, check for all the different things that you need to do, you can just get started right away as soon as it takes off, and you're not having to double check, because even though you're double checking in the chart, that takes time. Those little things take time. And so if you know ahead of time, I need to take an FMX, I need to take a full mouth probe, I need to do these things. And also this week's my week to sharpen instruments, and I need to fit that in. Look for those little pockets of time that are there that you could add more in. But when we don't know what we need to do in our week, and I do this all the time with my own life, I think my life's jam-packed full. But I mean, even tonight I said, hey, Paige, do you want a podcast? And sure enough, voila, here you are podcasting in this little pocket of time that I never would have seen in my original life, but it was there, and you can take the opportunity, because I knew I wanted to podcast with you. So when the opportunity arose, I didn't have to think about what to do next. We were able to go forward with it.
And you texted me that, and I have a date tonight, and we're going out to dinner, and I thought, oh, I don't have enough time. But then I retrained my brain and said, but what if you do? What if you could just squeeze it in before you go to dinner and get it done? It's retraining your brain. What if you do have enough time? What if you can do that?
I love that. And I think it because then it's you say, okay, let's try this. And the reality is, I think more often than not, you can actually have that. So you can do more than you think you can. Paige, that's brilliant. And I'm not going to keep you beyond dinner. So give us some quick action items for hygienists that can start right now, wherever they are. So like a brand new hygienist and then a seasoned hygienist or a very experienced hygienist. What would you recommend for either one of those, whichever spectrum they're on? What are some action items that hygienists can do right now to make their lives better with time management?
Yeah. So, whether you're just starting or you're seasoned, we're all in the same boat. We're all fighting the clock. So any of these tips can be used for either or. Number one, set yourself up for success at the beginning of the day. Look through the charts. Look at the notes from last visit. Do they need x-rays this time? Did last time they have a huge sheet of calculus on the mandibular linguals? Yes, grab an ultrasonic for that patient. Be ready so that you're not hand scaling for 25 minutes. Just blast all that off with your ultrasonic scaler. So set yourself up and know what is in store for that appointment and get everything out that you're going to need to save time. Number two, time yourself. Set a baseline. Where are you at right now? And where do you want to be?
How long do you recommend doing that baseline? Do you do it for one day? Do you do it for a week? How long do you recommend to do it?
I would do a week, because some days you're going to be really quick at polishing, or it might be this patient didn't have a strong tongue or a lot of plaque, and the next day someone did. So I would go about a week and kind of average your times, because you're going to have easy and harder patients.
So kind of have like I'm in my mind envisioning just kind of an Excel spreadsheet where it says, how long does it take for my medical history, my FMX, my full mouth probe, my scaling, my polish, my flossing, my fluoride, my reappointment. Just have all those categories. And then on it, you put patients 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 the whole day long. And you just write in the times for all those different procedures and then average it out
exactly
those different things.
Yep.
Okay.
Average it out for the day so that you can have an idea. Today, it took me on average 10 minutes to polish. The next day it took me 15. The next day it took me 7, and then kind of see throughout the week about where you are.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. I like that.
And the last thing is make a list of items throughout the week that you had to get up and grab. Everything should be an arm's length away. Even if you think, well, I have all of my ultrasonic scalers in the third drawer down over at the other side of the room. It's in my op. So, it's easily accessible. Yeah, but you still have to stand up, walk over, deglove, open the drawer, grab your ultrasonic scaler, shut the drawer, walk back, fight with the glove because it's inside out and your hand is kind of sweaty.
And our doctor wants
we've
us to
all
save
been there.
money.
We've all fought with that glove, and it takes us 5 minutes to put it back on, So, yeah, it was in the room and you thought it was easily accessible, but you still had to get up and waste time and go get it. It needs to be an arm's length away. Grab it and go. Grab it and go. So make a list of the items that you had to either get up and leave the op for, or get up and walk across the room for, and analyze your situation and say, okay, I got up 5 times this week to grab an ultrasonic scaler. Why don't I just put them in a drawer closer to where I am? Then you don't waste that time.
I like that a lot. There's always little pockets of time, Paige, and I really love the change your brain, change your mind, think of what if I could do this, and then find the baseline, find little areas that you can save time. It's crazy. When you start looking for it, I think it's kind of the same as when you want to buy a car and you all of a sudden start seeing that car everywhere on the road. It's the same thing when you want to start finding little pockets of time where you could do more, or you could change this, or you could improve that, or you could increase this. It's there. It's just a matter of spinning your brain and looking for it. Awesome job, Paige. Thank you. Thank you for that. I learned a lot tonight.
Thank you.
Of course. And I don't want to make you late for your date. So thank you for finding the time. You guys, this is Paige. Paige has so many great hygiene tips. The other day we were talking about ways to increase perio. We were talking about different fluorides today. So lots of different fluoride options for your patients. Going through verbiage for fluoride. There is a ton. Paige is a wealth of knowledge. We'll also geek out on our glory days of being office managers together too. So it'll be really fun. But Paige, thank you so much.
I'm excited to dive in. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Paige on the Dental 18 podcast, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks again. And that wraps it up for another episode of the Dental 18 podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.